What's up, motherfuckers? And there goes the demonetization.
Yeah.
And I was going to mention before we started, let's not curse in the first 10 minutes. Otherwise, YouTube won't publish it.
Favorite type of cock?
Who's going first? This is the question.
Well, I'm just going to say, hey, guys.
My own will be the best choice, I think.
How are we all doing? How's it going?
Good. Very good.
I've been better, man. I've been better. I'm going to be honest.
What's up, Jack?
I've been bedbound the past 2 days with illness, man.
He fell over a tripod at Strength Asylum.
Oh.
I did, man. I took me out of action.
Are you fucking shredded there?
Yeah, man.
Have you at least had the shits or something to get prep off to a little bit of a, you know?
Yeah, to be fair, I've had it all. I actually, oh my God. I've actually fucking had like everything. I've had the shits. I've had hot, cold temperature. I've had, I hiccuped to the point I threw up. That was nice.
My God.
Yeah, like my age. Yeah, so.
Joe, when like you throw up and then you look at yourself in the morning, you're like, oh, this.
Oh, yeah.
That is the worst. When you've woken up after vomiting in your sleep. That is the worst. And you're
in your sleep, I think that's how people die, Jermaine.
That's how I almost died, I think. Yeah.
Good old heroin, eh?
I remember I was younger, I was staying at my uncle's and I'd had a Chinese takeaway and it was very dodgy Chinese takeaway. I remember just waking up in the night in a house that I didn't really know that well with vomit all the way down me, vomit in my mouth still and on the floor by the bed. And I was just like, ugh. And it was like 3 a.m. So yeah, would not recommend. Be awake when you vomit.
No. Does anyone know if this Chinese restaurant's still in business or?
I highly doubt it.
No.
I highly doubt it. It almost killed me. So.
What a shame.
Times.
How's everybody doing then?
I'm not ill like Jack. I'm doing all right. I'm in between high days. I had a high day yesterday, a high day today. Oh yeah, guys, I'm dieting.
Yes.
Podcast in that long. I'm dieting. So yeah, life's good.
Well, it has been 6 months since our last podcast.
Yeah. I'm 18 weeks out now for my first show. So
18 weeks out. Wow.
Come round quick.
Oh, you've been dieting? No, it seems like you've been dieting for like 18 weeks.
12 weeks, 13 weeks, something like that.
So it was a big.
Well, you're on track, mate.
Yeah. Slow and steady, mate. Slow and steady. Not doing what I did last time and can go into it with like, I started, we figured this out actually the other day. AJ said to me, like, I think I started about 4 weeks ago last time. Prep. So before the first show, so I had so little time to prep last time, and that shafted me because I ended up losing tissue just to actually get lean. Whereas this time I don't have to, which is nice, and that's why.
And you weren't a blob this time, so.
Yes, I wasn't a complete and utter disgrace. Yeah, before, which helps.
How's life, Sev?
We're getting there. I got a little bit drunk by myself last night, I'm not gonna lie, because I've been moving house, which is always super fun. But yeah, horrible bits are done and it is livable, other than going to sort my pre-workout meal this morning and realizing I had no food scales. So packing food and things and taking it to the old house and then realizing it has no microwave. So that was really good. We're having a lot of little things like that crop up, but yeah, I am in new location.
So what did you have for breakfast?
I had oats made with hot water.
Old school.
Yummy.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not eating that. I don't know if I could hack that stuff. So I'm no wonder you had a few drinks.
Yeah, I mean, I had one small glass of wine last night. And I woke up this morning and I was like, whoa, bro. Headache, dehydrated as fuck. But it's all right. I had like a gram of caffeine and I'm absolutely sound.
That always works.
Training went very well. I mean, red wine, vasodilator, packed with antioxidants. It's basically just beetroot extracts pre-workout, basically.
Yeah. Basically
just fruit, really.
Mango Vaniac pump product. Yeah.
Yes.
I trained legs yesterday, and I don't know if you guys get this, but after training legs, if it was a particularly good session, I'm always dehydrated in the morning. I always have headaches after training legs. It's like a running thing at the moment.
It's time for you to invest in an electrolyte product, mate.
I do have one, to be fair.
Use it.
Yeah.
How much Clen you taking, Jermaine? Is that it?
Oh shit! You caught me out.
Not you as well.
Damn it.
Depleting his electrolytes.
Oh, I thought I thought BNBF would never find out. Shit.
What are you doing, Jermaine?
So what was that, Jack?
What shows are you doing?
Oh, the same run as last time, pretty much. So Midlands, UK DFBA, Heart of England. I'm also doing WNBF as well this year, and then obviously finals, assuming I qualify. So that's the current plan. Nice.
I've never been to a WNBF show in the UK.
Well, having spoken to Josh fairly frequently, because obviously he did MP, didn't he? He turned pro in MP with WNBF. He was like, well, why the fuck wouldn't you do it? And I was like, you're right, I'll do it, why not? And apparently everything I've heard about it from like how the show was run last year, only good things. So yeah, it should be good. Also, he's a judge, so you know, he can just push my points way up, and I can
What class are you doing, Jermaine? Are you a junior or are you a weight class?
So it depends, because different feds have different rulings on junior class, which is really, really stupid. So UK DFBA, I'm a junior. And I can compete at junior at finals. BNBF, WNBF, I cannot. So I have to do weight class at those two, but UK DFBA, I will be junior. Or rather, I'll be doing novice in the other feds, potentially.
How old are you? Is this because you're...
I'm 22, so
right.
Because of my age, it was the same last time, really. My like birthday falls on a really weird date where it cuts me off from doing certain things because I go into the next age bracket before finals, basically. So the reason I couldn't do teens partly last time was because like for BNBF, when we competed, Jack, I was 19, and yeah, sure, I could have competed as a teen and won that show or whatever, but then I wouldn't have been able to do finals.
Yeah.
UK DFBA, I could have, but I was like, well, fuck it, I've already started doing juniors, so I may as well carry on doing juniors. So yeah, it's the same thing this time around, sort of, but I am still technically a junior because I'm 22. But yeah, the cutoffs, weird cutoffs.
Yeah, it's a bit shit for the people that don't qualify for finals.
Yeah, it is like. And that's the thing. I want to go to finals this time. Just do qualifiers, obviously.
Revenge.
Vengeance, Mr. Vengeance.
Yeah.
Vengeance.
What about you, Jack? What's the competitive goal?
I am going to do UK FBA Northern. And then I was trying to get banned this year from as many natty feds as possible.
Jack, we've literally seen you injecting on your Instagram story. What?
What?
Going to
vaccine, bro.
I'm going to make sure that he is not in the same weight class as me, because fuck that. I'm not competing.
I'm not in a weight class.
What are you? What class are you in?
Sorry?
What class are you in? Band?
Band
class.
The band class, yeah. No, in all seriousness, I'm going to compete around about September time. I'll be starting prep. We've got a start date now. Me and AJ have confirmed it, and that'll be the 2nd of May. So roughly be around about a 20-week prep, 18 to 20-week prep for the first shows. 2 bros is the goal. because the main aim is to get a pro card. That's the long-term goal. So this year's mainly about perspective. So I want to see where I'm at. So if I don't get the pro card, I want to see how far I am off. And then that will dictate what I do in my off season in regards to what to bring up and the length of time that I would need off. My plan is to probably just compete infrequently until I'm at that standard of having a pro card. But because I haven't competed since 2019, the same year Jermaine last competed, I just want to see where I'm at, because I would say I've grown a nice amount. So I need to have this year's perspective. I have been tempted to do other federations, but I'm not too sure on that yet. I'm still 50-50 on that.
Interesting. Yeah, well, it sounds like me and you, Jack, are in a very similar situation. We're just like sort of seeing where we stack up every time we come back to the stage. Just keep adding. I think
that's important to do because a lot of people are scared to compete because they always feel like they're not going to be ready, which I do understand, because you don't want to just compete for the fuck of it, unless you just want to compete because you enjoy it. You're not really asked about your placings, but at the same time, you can't be scared of getting on stage, because you'll never get on stage. You've got to see where you stand, and that's going to give you perspective. It's going to give you experience. It's going to let you know how far you are off your goal, and that's what it should be about. I have a lot of people say, I have a few of my clients going, "Oh, I'm not going to be ready," or "I'm not going to be this, I'm not going to be that," and I think especially if it's your first time competing, it's always worth just giving it a go. That's probably one of the best things I did. I was about 18 when I did my first show, and I just gave it a go, and that taught me that. Well, that showed me whether or not I liked bodybuilding. Turned out I did, and it showed me that I can prep. And if I hadn't done that, then I could have been just applying myself to this goal that I potentially would have not liked doing, really.
Yeah, 100%. Like that was the same with my first time around competing when I was 19. It was just figuring out, okay, is this for me? And if it wasn't for me, I was more than happy to have walked away and, I don't know, done powerlifting or tried something else, right? But it clicked, and it turns out I can get fairly lean. So once that base is set, like, and you actually find that passion and you like confirmed it to yourself that this is what you do, it makes everything a lot easier as well. Cool.
Absolutely.
Sav, what's your current sitch in regards to competitions, whatnot, where you at?
So I competed both 2020 and 2021, had a year out the year previous, 2019, and had done basically all the years leading up to that. So I've done my fair share of dieting and shows, and for both 2020 and 2021, I had to diet pretty fucking hard, and that's absolutely not a criticism on anybody. It's just the way that my body is. I have a very adaptive metabolism, both going up and going down. So in off season, I can keep pushing food up, my weight don't change. I can keep pulling food down, my weight don't really change. And so I'd got to this year, I was kind of not sure, will I, won't I? I decided to do like a little 8-week diet, kind of see where I was at. And I thought, you know what, if I'm enjoying it, if the weight's coming off, I will probably go in for the NABA Northeast, which I think we're only a couple of weeks away from now. Because I've always wanted to do NABA and have been pretty dead last couple of years because of COVID. But over that 8 weeks, again, went pretty hard. I was pretty much on protein meals, stimulant intake was very high. Resting heart rate went through the fucking roof. Sleep was horrendous. And I just thought, you know what, I've not had the time that I need. And it's not even necessarily putting SARS on, because I do think for turn figure, I am about there. It's just my body isn't in a position to respond well to a diet right now.
So you're taking like I guess an extended off season then. That's the current stage.
Yeah, I think I just need to spend some time with food higher, stress lower, and not to mention, I mean, I do have a very, very, I don't want to say demanding in a negative way, but my job requires me to be very on it, and I'd like to be able to give that full focus this year.
Makes sense.
Very nice.
Awesome. And obviously you got your new place as well, so that's a whole.
Yes, I'm also now interior decorator, so I'm back and forth. I'm like, oh, I want to like personal me things on Instagram, but nobody gives a fuck about bath mats. People want to see biceps, but I might just post the fucking bath mats because I love them.
I like a bath mat, to be fair.
Thanks, Jack.
Make a little account called Biceps and Bath Mats, where it's just all your housing.
I love that.
Yeah. Brand idea.
Like, I'll just be having a random conversation. I'll be like, do you want to see the vase I just bought? It's from IKEA. And everyone's like, yeah, okay.
Right. I've got that vase as well. Yeah, IKEA. Yeah. I'm going to be doing a lot of that, to be fair. I'm looking at getting a place as well at the minute. So currently having house viewings and property viewings, all that sort of stuff, and potentially getting into auction territory for properties.
Ooh.
You're looking for a bit of a doer-upper project.
It's difficult, right? Because I know at the back end of prep, I'm going to be in absolutely no position to do any doing up of any kind.
Yes.
So I will most likely be getting whatever the property is, a property which is for the large part furnished and fine. And then it only requires me to do the old IKEA trip to the one near Meadowhall and just grab everything and just chuck it in. And then obviously me actually putting work into it can come into like after prep and things like that once I'm like settled and sorted. Aside from that, also looking at getting a dog as well.
Oh,
that's one of the main reasons I'm trying to get out of the
what breed?
I'm in two minds right now. So one of the breeds I was looking at is a Basenji,
Okay.
like short-haired African dogs, very fucking cute, very sort of beginner dog owner friendly. And then the other one I'm looking at, which is a bit more out there, is maybe getting a Shiba.
Ooh.
Just because I love Shibas.
Mm.
At my old work, this couple used to come in every weekend, Shibas, and on my break I used to sit for half an hour just play with these two dogs, and I loved them. So I might look at getting a Shiba. Maybe we'll see.
There's a guy who's at the gym and he brings his Shiba with him to the session and just ties him up around the back.
Yeah, see, I followed his account purely for just so he knows.
I'll be honest, I don't know what breed you're talking about.
It pisses on the floor at the gym, so there you go.
I'm gonna try. Wait, I'm gonna share screen. And I'm gonna pull.
Yeah, show us this dog.
You got any pets, Jack?
Okay.
I have 2 cats, which I got
Oh.
Last year, and you know what? Like, I thought having a cat would be a great first pet, and I was just going to get one, but the guy said you can have 2 for 30 quid. I was like, wow, that is a bargain. So I got 2, and do you know what? It turns out they're absolutely fucking fantastic, really good. Yeah, wow, that's a great dog.
Yeah,
Very nice.
That's a Basenji.
Yeah. Okay.
Short-haired dogs, very chill. And they're like smallish, medium-sized dogs. And then the other one I'm looking at is Shiba Inu. Which are just adorable. Adorable dogs. Sort of dog.
Ah, yeah, they are great dogs. I didn't realize that's what Shiba was, but yeah, I've seen them.
Just funny dogs, but yeah, they are very, very friendly.
Yeah,
it's not what I'd go for, but it's funny.
They are doge.
Look at that face.
Doges.
You can't tell me
Well,
that's adorable.
Sav, what would your go-to dog choice be then?
Okay, so I mean, I am absolutely in no position to look at getting a pet because I'm still in the office a lot of the time and I don't have a house husband to take care of it. But the only dog I've ever pictured myself with is a Staffy because they are wide as fuck. and I love the big silly mouths, and people wouldn't speak to me when I'm walking it. I just think I'd look bad as fuck walking down the street with one, to be honest.
I will say
That is
appealing to me. Having a big dog, that is also appealing to me. I just don't know if I'm the same. I don't know if I'm prepared for that commitment.
I think the perfect size. I mean, I know that they're full of energy and they need a lot of walking and things, but they are only like a medium-sized dog.
Yeah.
I would like a dog that I could wrestle.
Yeah.
Staffy.
Staffy, I'll say.
Belgian Waffle Company.
Ooh.
Staffy.
So yeah, I'm going to be moving as well.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like we're pretty much all moving.
Whereabouts?
I'm going to be moving closer to Strength Asylum.
Okay.
Literally, it's going to be like a couple of minutes walking. And I thought this would be great because they've got a posing studio and shit like that. And so I could literally just get up every day, go to the posing studio, and they've got a separate building for that. So I thought I'd record some content there and stuff, and it'll be easy to just go for cardio. I can literally get up, do my cardio, come back, eat, go back, train. So I'll probably be going to the gym about fucking 3-4 times a day.
Bloody decent. You're just gonna move in there, basically, aren't you?
I'm actually not too far from that in this house, the Strength, and I've just upped myself by moving even closer. So I am edging towards living in the building itself.
Is that the play, the long-term plan?
Yeah, it is.
Move in, pay rent on Strength Asylum.
Pretty much. I'm just going to find, like, I don't know, I might move into the leg room, to be fair.
You know, in gyms say like home of Ronnie Coleman. Yours is you've taken that literally, haven't you?
Literally home.
Yeah, legit home of Jack Richardson.
Yeah.
This is my home. I'm just there in a sleeping bag. Don't mind me.
Recorder. I love that.
Yeah.
To be fair, what sort of equipment would you actually sleep on? What do you think is it? What do you reckon?
The reason why I said the leg room, because I think the leg press is probably the easiest thing to sleep on, isn't it? Or unless you just sleep on a bench.
Prime extreme row.
You need one of those like really flat, wide power benches.
Mm.
Otherwise, you would just roll onto the floor.
We have a rear delt machine at Normanton that's laid flat and it's got a hole in the front, like a massage bed.
Oh, yes.
That would be pretty good. You could just like eagle on that.
Spread
or
eagle.
that huge, I think it's Atlantis leg press that's split into two and it's like a king size bed.
Yeah.
That's huge, the pad on that.
I'm sure there's a market there. Gym equipment you can also sleep on. Got an idea, folks.
Has anyone ever slept in a gym?
I don't know if I have.
No.
I have a few times.
Has anyone ever slept with anyone in the gym?
I haven't actually.
I have in a leisure centre. But like not actually sleeping with them.
Right. Just a shag.
Just a shag.
In the shower.
Just a singular shag.
In the toilets.
Yeah. Jermaine?
No, can't say I have.
You're very vanilla, aren't you?
Within reason, yeah, I would say so. I'm also very vanilla because my mum's watching.
That didn't matter when you never used to live there.
That's true. But I just forget that people watch it sometimes.
No.
I should.
People are watching this.
Huh?
People are watching this.
No.
There will be. Hopefully.
It's a private conversation.
We were going to tell you, Jack. But,
oh shit.
Yeah. Right. Should we do some questions while we're here as well?
Yeah. Go on.
Split it up. Okay.
Sure.
Right. I'll get the messy ones out of the way first.
Messy ones.
Yeah.
I've got a decent one and a stupid one. So.
I'll start off with the one I said earlier. Fat cock? ?
Fat cock.
Fat cock.
Huh?
Have you got one or do you want one?
First, I think we need to get some parameters and some actual numerical data on what defines a fat cock.
Well, is it a two-hander?
It is.
It's any that you look at and go, that's fat.
That's a fat with a PH.
That's the criteria.
No fat with 3 rolls yet.
Yeah. Badass cock.
Yeah.
So stupid. Okay.
Off-season cock.
Off-season cock. Okay. Okay, that's one that's very specifically for me from someone saying, when are you going to
Are we not discussing
girl
this?
that you've slept with, Jermaine. Can we get that out there?
This one is basically, and to be fair, this is actually a talking point for me, right? So this person,
So it's from the girl you've slept with.
This no. This one, right, is an issue that I've come across more recently, and I realized it last night when I visited some old friends as well.
Okay.
She said, when are you going to get a private Insta which is normal, so I don't have to show my parents of pictures of you in your underwear? And does anyone else have this? Whenever they encounter people they haven't seen for a long time, their only frame of reference for you is essentially the fact that they've seen you in a thong a lot in more recent times, and the only thing they haven't seen of you is your asshole. Anyone else have this as an issue?
Well, everyone's seen my asshole. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. To be fair, I was just on my phone the other day, and my little brother was like, "Why is there so many photos of yourself in your pants?" I was like, "Yeah, I suppose that is weird. To be fair, in any other context, but I don't have a personality outside of being in my pants."
It's who I am.
It's who I am.
I feel most.
You found yourself, Jack.
You what?
You found yourself.
I found myself, man.
I will say it's true. I feel most at home in my adult diapers.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, I wear a thong at home, so they are very lucky that I don't.
Colourful one that you did the calendar shoot with.
Oh wow, yeah. That I asked. Actually, I just want to put that out there. I asked for boxes, right, and they gave me briefs. I don't think the shoot would have been nearly as gay if I had boxes on.
Jack is side hustle that I'm not aware of.
Pull it up, Jermaine.
Yeah, what?
Because I've not been following Jack for very long, so yeah.
What will this be on? Where can I find these pictures?
Oh well,
on the OnlyFans.
My OnlyFans, obviously. I think it's somewhere, something. It's at some place on my Instagram.
Some place, okay.
Some place on my Instagram. Somewhere.
Let's have a look. Let's have a gander. Oh, wrong person. How did I click the wrong person?
Yeah, that is me.
Yes, Jack. Yes.
It's close enough, bro.
Where is it? There were some fantastic pictures that came out of that, though.
Oh yeah, I know.
There we go. Now we're talking.
Yeah. Oh man, there was some photos that didn't make it there where like we've got our arses out and shit.
Can I ask who was the target audience for this calendar?
Well, so to give context, right, it's for a charity. My friend Phil, who is on the left here, said, "Yeah, do you want to do this thing for charity? It's called Oddballs, and it's to raise awareness for testicular cancer." I was like, "Okay, fair enough." And we get there, and it turns out to be one of the gayest experiences I've had in my life, because we were just sort of like working out in our pants and stuff and having photos and shit. And yeah.
It just seems like casual Phil Sumakis behaviour, to be honest.
Yeah, it does.
It does, man.
I feel like Jack's been groomed.
Yeah.
Been alert there.
I think
something wholesome.
Isn't Phil younger than you, Jack?
Yeah.
The only way this could be better, in my opinion, is if you're all wearing pit vipers.
Oh yeah.
There are some photos where I am wearing the pit vipers, so we took it in turns.
I love it. Lights out, bonus time. Yeah, no, it's do you know what though? It's for a good cause. It's for a good charity.
That's what I thought. You know.
That's what you thought.
I'll be gay for the right cause.
All right. For the right price.
Or it was something morally sound. Now his mum works for him.
Everyone has their price. Some others is lower than, you know, mine, but
no, back to everyone's page just being riddled with cock and glutes. That's brilliant, by the way. Yeah, I pulled my phone out in the middle of like lecture the other week, and obviously you got people behind you and stuff, and they're like, "Why is your Instagram just flooded with half-naked guys in their pants?" And I was like, "Well, I don't really know, to be honest. It's just normal for me now."
It is. It's a weird type of desensitization where you're just used to looking at guys in the pants, and you're like, it's normal. That's all that really.
There you go. Point proven.
Yeah, no, look, it's just
everywhere.
Yeah. Just guys in pants, guys in underwear. It's just all it is.
Keon looks good.
Yeah.
Look good.
Yeah, like
definitely not doing classic.
Yeah, I've heard that he is definitely doing 2-on-2 again this year.
Like, looks about 240 there.
If he can actually be peeled, absolutely peeled, I reckon he could take it, man, because the structure is just probably one of the best out of any class.
That's literally the only issue, in my opinion.
It is, man. I don't know what it is, because I know that Keon isn't like, he isn't in the sport because he's passionate as such. He just sort of fell into it because he was just very, very good, and he's just got successful quite, I don't want to say easily, but quite quickly.
I think he got a little bit complacent with the fact that it came easily to him, and I think knowing that he could come in 80% and still fucking smash people, I think he got by on that for as long as he could, and then he went into a bigger boy class, and all of a sudden that 80% didn't really stack up anymore. And I hope that it's not some sort of motivation into him to put in that extra bit of work, because I think we all know if he does, you know, with those genetics, with that shape, it's going to be fucking naughty. So
it's a hard mentality to change, though, isn't it? When you've had success at something where you don't have to try. And then you go actually wake up and put the work in to even be able to compete. Like, it's a lot easier to just say, "Oh, fuck this."
It makes me kind of mad, because like, it's not like he hasn't, like, you look at this and it's like, okay, this guy has had good condition.
Yeah,
he had great condition, classic, like really good condition, but it is harder to peak, right, when you are a bigger guy. So I don't know, potentially, I don't know who he was working with for that, but I do think it is important to take some losses, because then it sort of knocks some perspective in here to make you work a little bit harder.
Yeah, it's literally the evolution of Jack Richardson right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Jack White Keown Richardson. See it. Tell you what, your back has come up a lot, Jack. Ridiculous.
Okay, it had to. It was depressingly shit. Yeah.
It was the same with mine, though. Like I that was my focus pretty much for the most of the off season. Was just
and this goes back to my point of, like, you've got to sort of lose, because I think it's good to lose, because when I came second at the show that I really wanted to come first at, which was the UK FBA finals, and my back was just not great at all. I was like going into the off season all guns blazing, thinking I'm not going to miss a fucking beat here. And I'm next time I go on stage, I want my back to not just be brought up. I want it to actually look fucking quite decent. So that gave me a little bit of, well, it just gave me a strong incentive to stay on top of my shit, really.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Elon Musk is buying Twitter.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Which is crazy.
T-Bob gangster.
I want this T-shirt. That's fucking hilarious.
Who is that a picture of?
I'm assuming it's is it Tom Platz or something? Maybe. No.
I thought.
No.
No, I think. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, it is Tom Platz.
Oh wow.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
I thought he was a black person.
They've tagged Tom Platz
because of the mask.
I recognize the wheels.
No, I thought it was because of the tan, man.
Okay.
Fucking cancelled now.
Should have known really with the Corvette in the background.
Yeah, absolutely. And the palm trees.
Yeah.
Next.
I got a question. Was having a conversation the other day, and it was about your hymn and as well, what is a correct and accurate dosage suitable across the board before getting into the overkill range?
Always start low.
Yeah.
I mean, the general formula is 0.2 meg per kilogram, which is fair enough. But I would say if you are buying 3 meg capsules and you've never used it before, fucking use 3 meg. Use 3 meg, get out of it what you can. Maybe go up to 6 and use that 0.2 as a max in an ideal world. Obviously, things happen, and maybe you use enough fat burners, maybe cardio, super high food, super low. Maybe you have to use a little bit more than you initially wanted to, but start at the 3 meg, start at the 2.5 meg, escalate it after 2 weeks is probably a good amount of time if needed.
I could get down with that. Don't be that person who's like, don't just jump straight to the clinical amount that people say. Don't ever do that. I for the shits and gigs at one point, just one day for cardio took 20 milligrams. And I felt like I was going to have an anxiety attack on top of the black coffee as well that I'd had.
It's not a supplement I particularly enjoy for myself.
Yeah, me neither, to be honest. Although
I've run it higher than I would ever like to give a client, to be honest, including a male. And even at a relatively low dose, or even if I'm using US pre-workout that's got the odd 3 meg or something in it, it doesn't make me feel nice. And I sometimes don't even realize until I've pulled it back out how bad it was making me feel. Because obviously if you're dieting, you probably feel pretty wank, you probably do. But there's been times where it's not been until I've maybe ran out and decided that I can't be asked to buy anymore that I've gone, wow, I didn't feel very nice on that at all.
I think a good frame of reference would be, okay, across the board, how is your tolerance with stimulants and other adaptogens and things like that in general? If you're someone who's like sort of hyper responsive to that sort of stuff, chances are you'll be that way with that as well. Use that as a bit of a frame of reference.
I'll also say, if you are prone to chronic inflammation, do not use it. So I did quite a bit of research into it more recently, after obviously I'm 12 weeks into dieting now with Big Ginger Josh. And it's not something we mentioned, but I've still got a load anyway. I was like, maybe I could, propose that to him, but there's no need to use it at the minute. But I don't think it's something I would touch again, just because doing the research and it's prone to promoting inflammation, systemic inflammation, ulcers as well. So it's probably not ideal for moi. But yeah.
Jack, thoughts?
Just use Klein instead.
Of course.
Yeah, why not? DMP if you're at it as well.
Yeah,
actually, go all the way.
Fantastic advice.
Bit of rat poison, fuck it. Why not?
Why not, man?
Tell you what, that'll make you drop weight.
Yeah, or drop dead.
Drop dead. Yeah. All your weight on the ground.
You're
dead. Just be careful with it. Is there anything else?
Yeah. And if you are quite an anxious person, then just be cautious.
Have a toke with it at the same time, you'll be all right.
Sound.
Very wise words.
Imban, ashwagandha.
Yes.
Done. Okay, another question. This is a really good one. I guess it's somewhat topical, but I think about this every single time we get put in this situation. It's a serious one, sadly, folks. Nothing too immature. Has Cedric's death made you reevaluate what you have to give to be number one?
I actually have a similar question myself from the Q&A, and it was something like, have these deaths affected you, and what your thoughts are of the deaths and stuff like that? And obviously, I think with me being the only assistant person here, and it's probably like I find it's scary, man. I'm just gonna say it is quite scary because we know there's risks of it, but I feel like now we're sort of seeing a lot of the consequences of pushing PEDs happen at once, like over a course of a few months. And a lot of people are pointing towards the vaccine and stuff like that, which I'm not going to say it is or it isn't, but what I can definitively say is PEDs is definitely not helping that. You know, PEDs do cause issues with the hearts, and these deaths that have happened recently have been heart related. And I do think it's interesting because I think we're probably now seeing the ramifications of the beginning of the mass era that started around about 20 years ago. And now we're seeing people who have attempted to get to around about £300 and maintain that for a good amount of years, now having health consequences. So it's I don't know, for me personally, it has made me think twice about how far I want to go with this, because I love bodybuilding and that's why I wanted to be a pro. That's why I still do want to be a pro, but I don't want to die for bodybuilding. I don't want to take 20, 30 years of my life for bodybuilding. But on the other hand, what you can say is there is a good trend of people really being on it with health testing and stuff like that, having blood tests, calcium tests and heart tests and all these things. So with that happening, potentially, I don't know, we might see a healthier trend of bodybuilding. I don't know, but I suppose, again, it is inescapable when you have to push your weight up to like £300 and hold it there. It's hard to not have consequences. So I'm a little bit, in me personally, in a bit of a mixed bag of what I think about it all.
Yeah. Sam?
Yeah, I've got kind of a couple of thinking points on this, which probably align with a lot of things that a lot of people have been saying. I think the first one is, as Jack says, bodybuilders getting bigger, bodybuilders being bigger for a longer period of time. I think there's this trend of people, you know, when people post up the results from a BMI calculator and they go, it says I'm morbidly obese, but I'm not because I've got abs. You've got to realise, no, you're not fat fuck, but you are carrying around an amount of weight that is raising all-cause mortality risk. It is, you know, it's not a joke. It doesn't matter that you are lean. And I think kind of pulling off what JP had said about the people who are needing to push especially hard and do especially silly things to get there, they are the ones who are more likely to run into issues. And here's the thing, I have been the person who was, whatever it takes, bro, like I'll do anything, like anything to put on an extra pound of muscle between seasons, blah, blah, blah. I'm not that person anymore because I have other priorities and other things that I give that sort of passion and effort to now. But I can understand people not giving a fuck and people saying, I'm going to take this and eat this and do this anyway. And if I die, I don't give a shit. But if you are not a Keon, if you are not a Nathan D'Asher, just do be aware that things do creep up on you. And yeah, special mention to the vaccine thing, because I mean, I know that YouTube will kick off, but I do think it's very convenient.
Well, I mean, it goes for anything though. Anything that's going to impact HRV or have an impact on HRV is going to have some sort of effect. And that goes across the board. It could be anything. You could get fucking, I don't know, some regular flu, for example, or even any sort of pulmonary related issue or anything like that. And it will have a detrimental effect on health. And that's something that you just can't ignore. Like, objectively, it is what it is. And obviously in what we do, and I mean across every other, like a lot of other sports, rugby is a good example because most of those guys are fucking well above, average in terms of just being big. Like, they're big people, and they're not necessarily fat, but they are big people, and they're also trained people. And being a trained person, there's risk there. There is risk there involved in terms of heart.
Just by being fit, your heart is enlarged without taking anabolics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that we need to start, and I think as a result, people need to start recognizing and treating bodybuilding as a sport, not about health, because it's absolutely not. Like any other sport, you're an athlete and you're about optimizing, and optimizing and health clash. They're not the same thing. So I think when people start seeing them as separate, that'll be good. It's just a lot of people I don't think are.
Yeah. Just going back to the point that Sav brought up with JP's posts, I think JP obviously mentions, like, if you have to push, then it's not the sport for you. But I think what a lot of people struggle with is where's that line? Because there is a point of where you have to push.
Yeah, especially when that contradiction statement is coming from a pioneer of super high dosages. But the thing I took away from the post was, if you actually look at the majority of, well, at least publicized passings recently, they're all, let's face it, genetic elite bodybuilders. They're the guys you look at and think they probably don't have to push as high as such and such who's come in second place at a British finals. But as we've said, before, going on a whole tangent and everything, if you want extreme success, or you want to push beyond bounds of normality in day-to-day life, it's going to come with a negative aspect anyway. Like we've said, an athletic heart is not a healthy heart. Any stress that you put your body under it's going to have some detriment. You take a paracetamol, it cures the pain, but what else is it doing? And it's just a very debatable topic. But if you do look across the board, across sports, I think over 800 incidences in the past 2 years in professional football has just happened, and it's a big 60% increase. That's very conveniently aligned with the production of something. But I think the age as well of a lot of athletes is in bodybuilding is at the forefront, because Cedric's mid-40s. Yes, there were guys in the 90s who were 260 pounds on stage, but they were in and out by the time they're 35.
That is one thing that I have decided that I'm going to cap the years that I'm spending in bodybuilding and just pushing PEDs, because, like you say, Cedric mid-40s, Sean Rowan mid-40s, George 40s.
John Meadows.
Yeah. So I think the big lesson to take from that is you can't be super fucking heavy on drugs in your 40s, really. I think you've got to, at some point, call it a day. And I think what is important is you've got to have a sort of cap on, you don't want to keep pushing and pushing and not have much from bodybuilding and then carry on pushing. So say for worst case scenario for myself, if I attempt to do this bodybuilding thing and I attempt to be a pro and I can't become a pro, I'm struggling to get my pro card, I'm going into my 30s, I'm still struggling, then by the time I'm 30, if I still don't have a pro card, then I'm probably just going to leave it, because my goal is I want to be a professional bodybuilder. I want to be a bodybuilder who's a successful professional bodybuilder as well. And if I'm struggling to obtain a pro card after attempting for years and years and years, then it's not worth the health risk, because I think at that point you'll have to just keep pushing and pushing. So it's I think that they're the things that I've taken from all this. It's just
it is smart to get out plan, especially for men. I think for women it's more common to do 2 years of competing and then move on, maybe you get into a relationship, maybe you have a baby, whatever it is. Whereas for men, competing for 10, 15, 20 more years is a lot more common. But if you look at the people who got out at arguably the right time, people like Seth Rossi, people like Ben Pakulski, look at them, you know, that's the sort of role models maybe men should be having for post-competing.
Yeah. I think
go on, Jack.
I do think that's true. Even Dorian Yates, he got out in his mid-30s. He came and did a seminar at Strength Sound. He spoke about it, and he was like, he sort of gave me this idea to place a limit on stuff. It was like, by the time he got to a certain age, he got out, and he's now nice and healthy and just in a good spot, really. I don't suppose any of you guys have seen Forward's podcast where they're trying to come up with solutions.
Yeah,
I've watched some of it.
What do you think of the weight cap in the Open?
I don't think it's gonna particularly it's going to improve anything that drastically, just because it's a multifaceted issue, right? Like we've just explained, and there's no reason. Like, I think the measures that are going to have to be taken, because people aren't going to stop training hard. People aren't going to stop, pushing things further than they should be. All they're going to do is cut back food and try to make the weight. You see it with other classes with a weight class. They're not walking around in the day-to-day life in that weight cap. They're above that to perform better, because it's about optimization. And then coming back down, like look at boxing, look at any combat sport. The guys who are competing at 155 pounds are walking around day-to-day life 180 pounds, and then dropping 15, 20 pounds of water the final week. That's even worse long term.
What I will say to that though is, when I started this off season, my initial goal was to be classic. And then I made the assessment. I thought, for my structure, the weight cap, I probably won't. The structure probably isn't good enough. Now, I'm not tall, but I'm too tall for 2-on-2. So my next thing from classic is to be as big as
classic with QUE.
What?
To be clear, classic.
Classic.
Sorry, Jack.
It's the accent, man. But yeah, the big thing from that is, from classic physique, is to go all the way to being as big as fucking possible. So obviously, one of the things that was appealing for me for classic physique and even 2-on-2 is those guys, after they compete, they can take a few months off everything, and it's not going to detriment them being productive in the off season, because they don't need to go. Like for the Open guys, they're pretty much on all the time. The cruise doses, they're running a good amount, and they're just pushing themselves year round.
Yeah,
whereas the people in like classic physique, they could just, because there's a weight cap and they're trying to fit in it, they could just chill for a few months. And that also gives them a life outside of bodybuilding as well. So I think by introducing a weight cap, potentially that could be sort of the same.
I think as well, the one thing I've noticed about like open bodybuilding in the past, like, I don't know, since Jay Cutler was Mr. Olympia, really, everyone sort of looks the same. And I get that you have a judging criteria that you're supposed to appeal to. Mr. Olympia at the time is the standard. At the minute, Big Ramy is the standard. But if you look, no one's look is drastically different to anybody else's. Whereas you go back 25 years, 8 out of that top 10, they've got a different look to them. They're all different shapes, different sizes, and whoever was the best on the day got the nod. Whereas I think you've seen more and more at shows, the winner is based more off of what the ideal physique should look like, rather than who is the best on the day. Where I think that could change is, as you mentioned, a weight cap. I don't particularly agree with that, just because of the extreme personalities you've got in the sport who will do whatever the fuck it takes to make that weight cap. Because you're going to have people that are supposed to be 230 or whatever on stage, and you got guys who are supposed to be 250 on stage, thoroughly dehydrating down. You know, and the way that's going to change on stage is you're going to have a guy who's 230, which is going to look fantastic, nice and streamlined, small waist, proportionate. Then you're going to have a guy who's been 245, 250, has got close to 230 as possible. That look on stage is going to be drastically different to the other guy. And then I don't get where the judging criteria is going to come in.
I can only see the weight cut thing helping for the next generation. I can see for the person who's been training for a year, maybe thinking, oh, you know, I might want to, you know, add in a bit of sauce, go kind of step it up a level. Then in his head, he's thinking, instead of, I need to be 300 pounds, he's thinking 260 would be great. But I feel like, as Joe said, for the current top level bodybuilder, for Nick Walker, he's not going to go, oh, well, this is good. I can eat less food. I might just do 2 sessions a week, upper, lower, tick along. He's going to go, fuck, more fat burners, more and I mean, I'm not speaking for him personally, but as an example of someone who is huge and who is extreme and who takes this very seriously, he's going to continue to do very extreme, very serious things.
My mindset is still a wee natty. Is every single year since probably the age of 17, 18, the appeal of hopping on has decreased. So for me, I remember going to an expo when I was like 17, 18-ish, meeting Dallas, stuff like that, being like, fuck yeah, this is awesome, like, here with Dallas, whatever. Meeting Rich or whatever, cool, great. Both of them die. Like, that's super shit. And then in my head, I was like, well, that means for me going forward, if I'm competing, just means I just won't be as big as them. I'll just do classic, whatever. But then you see people like George, for example, who are arguably on the smaller side, who are still dying. And you see off the back of that, I'm like, okay, well, like physiques that appeal to me, who I look up to role model wise. So yeah, Cedric, taller guy, wider structure sort of thing, kind of similar to me. And then he passes away as well. I'm like, oh, fuck, like what is the appeal for me now as someone coming up in the sport to making that leap? And the appeal is non-existent. Like, it just doesn't, like, I'm now more than ever looking at people like David Kay, Robert Waterhouse. Like, I'm looking at these sort of people now more so than I'm even looking at the IFBB pros, like the major pros, because it is so much more attainable to me. Even though, like, for a lot of people, they'll look at that and go, "There's no fucking way. Like, that's not naturally attainable." But for me, that is more attainable, because it means I won't die by the age of 40. And I'm also very similar to, because I've obviously Jack's spoken about before, Thorburn, that is, and me and him have a very similar opinion in regards to it, of knowing that if we do make that leap, and one of the major reasons why Thorburn hasn't taken that leap is because we are people of extremes and we recognize that. And if we were to make the leap, we would go all in. It would be all or nothing. And I'm not prepared to make that leap, not being fully aware of the consequences, or not having things in order, so that if something were to happen, I've at least created security for everyone else around me along the way. That's another thing as well. Like, what is the stuff you leave behind off the back of you dying going to be? So family, friends, that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Just going back to the point that you mentioned, with obviously now you're in a position where you are natural and you've seen all these deaths, and it's quite off-putting to make the decision to be assisted. I don't know where my mind would have been if that happened whilst I was still natural. I don't know if I would have been still like, okay, cool, let's make the jump then. Because even getting into it, without all these deaths happening all at once, I was a little reluctant because of the health side of things. But I thought, okay, I'm going to get into it. I'm going to try to do classic. I'm going to have a look at my health and stuff like that. You know, really, really keep on it. And now all this is happening. I'm like, whoa, okay, yeah. So I could definitely understand where you're coming from with that.
Right. Are we done on that one? Less depressing question.
Very somber note.
Yeah.
Did you get a question, Jack?
Yeah. So that was one of the questions. I had two. Let me just find it now.
Is anybody indulging in chocolate over Easter? I'm not, unfortunately. I'm going to a rave tomorrow.
I don't have the fats for it at the moment. On high days, so I can't.
Maybe some dark chocolate.
Yeah, I don't like milk chocolate. Shit.
Yeah.
What is the go-to chocolate bar? That's a good question.
Go-to?
Yeah, dairy milk, Oreo, big slab. Yes, please.
If it's like all-in chocolate, or is it like any sort of chocolate bar?
Whatever you want, man. You can get it in the local Costco. Double decker.
I'm a double decker fan. Yeah.
I'd rather have a topping crisp over a double decker. Or a picnic.
Oh yeah.
Well,
yeah. Tiger Bell.
I like a marathon bar. I do.
Snickers, yeah.
Yeah.
Gold bars. Yeah.
So realistically speaking, what's the most dangerous animal each of us beat in a 1v1 combat?
I don't like hurting animals.
Well,
grow up, Joe. Come on, it's gonna kill you.
Yeah, it's coming at you.
Yeah, but if it's gonna kill me, what's the point in fighting it?
Take me.
You don't want to die. That's the point.
Maybe I'll do, Jack.
Okay.
Yes,
cool.
sweet release.
Anyway.
I probably could take
let's not be stupid with this either and say like a fucking.
I'm not going to be silly.
Let's not be stupid.
I could probably take down a dragon.
A unit.
Yeah, I probably could, man. I could take a dragon, I reckon.
Yeah, because they're not real. You just be fighting like air.
You haven't been fucking dragon hunting?
No, sorry, I forgot the wild dragon huts they've got out in Stoke.
Yeah, fuck me. Stoke is a great place for dragon hunting.
There's right dragons walking around Stoke, but
there is. Dragons
down the local high street.
Are we unarmed? That is a question.
Are we unarmed?
yes, bare hands only.
No, that's shit.
No, it's more accurate. If you've got a knife,
it's more accurate than Jack's going to kill a dragon with his bare hands.
Yes.
I couldn't do it with bare hands. I would have to have at least a shiv.
Oh, yeah. Rusty spoon.
Yeah, a fucking shiv a dragon down.
Yeah.
As a callback to an old podcast, if I was skydiving, I could box.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I absolutely could box a bear. I could fight a bear.
Genuinely, what do I think I could be? Like a wild animal, yeah?
I reckon I could do a giraffe. Just shin him, then once he's down, spark him out.
One bomb Westerby.
I want to see that. I want to see Sav one bomb a giraffe in the face.
Let's take when you're in town, yeah, for the Midlands show, we'll go to the West Midlands Safari Park. Let's see what happens.
Well, then I'm going to get arrested.
But it's going to kill you.
What did you do? I punched a giraffe.
Oh, shit. It's kind of like the Hangover.
I think my upper limit in terms of fighting something would be a kangaroo. But if it kicks me in the chest, I'm dead. So
yeah,
that is like that's
they can scrap.
Yeah,
they can scrap.
They can scrap. Although I feel like that video of that guy punching a kangaroo in the face has filled me with a lot more confidence in my own ability. I feel like if my dog was in a headlock from a kangaroo, I could absolutely clock him in the face.
If kangaroo had a dog in a headlock, I'd probably record it.
Speaking of kangaroos, does anyone want to see Callum Von Mogo going on a massacre of kangaroos the other week?
What?
Yeah.
What
do you mean?
I have been told that kangaroos like vermin in Australia, though, so you can just sort of do them.
Yeah. Emus as well.
Yeah.
Emus as well.
But yeah, apparently he was driving around wherever, Melbourne or whatever, just fucking decapitating kangaroos or something.
What?
Well, he got arrested for having meth in the car.
I think.
So
What has happened to Calm Von Moga?
This is what happens when you tear your bicep, people.
Yeah, man.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Decapitating kangaroos.
That's the route I would go down if I got an injury.
Killing dragons in Stoke.
Yeah, man.
If we have a frame of reference here. If he's decapitating kangaroos, I'm more confident than ever now.
Yeah.
I could. This is a man who's got like torn everything.
Yeah.
And is also cracked out. I bet I could take one kangaroo.
But we said bare hands, so what you're going to do? Just chop him like kung fu.
Yeah, you're damn right.
Take his head off.
I could break bricks with these.
Yeah, yes. You're a blue belt in karate.
I did actually get to brown belt in jiu-jitsu, so I could rear naked choke hold a kangaroo.
Okay, a kangaroo.
I'd flying triangle a kangaroo. Absolutely.
Fucking hell. Wild animal. Maybe like a wild boar or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I think I can do that.
Tell you what, I've been watching a lot of videos about in Texas. They have like a hog crisis, and their resolution in Texas, of course, is to fly around Texas in helicopters with machine guns and guns.
Branch Warren does that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The boy.
Yeah, so I could see you taking out a wild hog. I could see it happening.
Yeah. With bare hands though, that's rough. That is.
In the eye sockets.
It's going to be slimy, muddy. You know.
It's
you do look a bit like Branch Warren, Joe.
Wow.
You can see.
I can see it, man.
Yeah.
I can't see that.
3 years, isn't it?
Joe Warren has a ring.
Joe Warren.
Yeah. Joe Warren.
It's not even intimidating in any way.
I think it's
sound like an accountant.
I'm Joe Warren.
Fuck it up.
I will be your guide for today.
We're going hog hunting, boys. Yeah, probably that.
Okay. A wild hog. Jack.
Yeah, Jack. The dragon. Yeah.
Yeah, and I reckon I could definitely. There will be dragons if there's meth involved.
True.
He was there, I swear. I saw him.
There's dragons everywhere, man. Killed them all.
Decapitating dragons. Yeah. Love it.
Right. What about you then, so?
Yeah, I'm taking a giraffe.
Giraffe. Jermaine?
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's difficult. I feel like kangaroo might be just a bit too simple, considering people are apparently just decapitating them in the streets of Melbourne.
With their bare hands.
With their bare hands.
Would you wrestle?
Would you wrestle?
What would your approach be?
Well, kangaroos got boxing gloves, right? Like Tekken, so.
Oh, yeah. No, I would absolutely. I'd go for a grapple.
Yeah.
Grapple.
I think that's where the advantage would be.
Yeah.
Really.
I mean, if we're talking about this like a kangaroo as an MMA fighter, they're striking.
Get him in the cage.
Yeah. Striking ability off the charts. Like that will, they've got like an Ngannou hook. You know, they can clock you out in one punch or one kick. So the grapple would be the move. Really
Yeah. Are you familiar with the MMA meme of Wanderlei Silva and Chael Sonnen? I can't let you get close.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what the kangaroo would be doing to you.
Exactly what it is. Yeah, I got to play the ground game. Like,
yeah,
if I can wrestle a kangaroo to the ground, it is fucked.
Yeah.
I've got a kangaroo. He's getting clotted. I'm telling you, like not getting up from that.
That is going to t-shirt.
Yeah.
If I can wrestle a kangaroo to the ground, he is fucked.
That'll be on Natty News Daily, mate.
Please put that in the bio.
Oh God, that is a good one. I might do that. Yeah, that might be a one.
I have a FMK question. Yeah.
Just revealed something there,
downward trends towards my mentality. I don't want to live FML. Yeah, who was it now? Oh, Ronnie Coleman, Jordan Peters, and Marcus Rule. That was from Derek, by the way. So
what about fuck, marry, kill, right?
Yeah.
Fuck, marry, kill.
Yeah, but if you don't want to fuck one, you know, you can take them on a coffee date or something, I guess.
I see.
And you have to give reasons why.
Yeah.
Oh, marry, kill.
Who we fucking?
I feel like I'd.
Sorry, I answered that too quick, didn't I?
Sorry, what did you say?
Marcus.
Like shagging Marcus.
Marcus. Straight for Marcus.
Walks in the bedroom.
Did German things.
I feel like I'd marry Marcus.
Oh, Big Bradford.
He's
I feel like
good at
Marcus
going
would
around
smell bad.
supermarkets and doing all that.
Okay, I've come up with a strategy. Really, I'd marry Ronnie Coleman.
The money.
Yeah.
You whore.
The money, success. I'd be like.
He's got them big bucks though.
But you're gonna have to look after him because he can't walk.
Yeah, he's high maintenance.
It's like having
neglect him and leave him there.
Just go out.
Just shut the door.
Yeah,
buddy.
Yep. Yeah, buddy.
Don't leave me, Jack.
Please stick around. So I'm marrying Ronnie for the money.
Right.
I'm very shallow, you see. Now who do I fuck? I feel like
a lot of great men.
The least angriest person. I feel like Jordan Peters is a very angry person. So I think if I was to fuck Jordan Peters, I would die.
Just think about it. Just think about his hip hinge.
Yeah, no, he's willing to take it, Jack. He's there.
Well, I would. Okay.
Just close your eyes and put your hat on. He'll be fine.
Do you know what? Actually, I think Jordan Peters would be easy to kill.
Yeah, it's not very mobile.
All you have to do is...
Hang on, have you seen him running around those fucking football pitches?
He does BJJ now.
Yeah, he's
like Jermaine. He's a blue belt.
He's a kangaroo.
He's dangerous.
I feel like if you tip him on the back, he'll be like a turtle.
Yeah, or a cockroach or something.
Yeah, and he'd be fucked. So I just need to get him on the back.
The risk is that he's like
you're doing a missionary.
So yeah, maybe if I just tell him I'm going to fuck him,
CPAP on and everything,
and then I go, haha, I'm going to kill you actually.
No,
then... is that your method of screwing women into bed?
What's up?
Yeah, basically. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to chop you up.
I feel like with Jordan Peters, he almost has like a John Wick sort of energy, where he seems very chilled out, relaxed when he talks all this stuff.
But you better not fuck him.
Yeah, in any sort of situation where there's a bit of instigation, a bit of controversy, he would turn into a stone cold killer. He gives me that sort of vibe.
Yeah, but Marcus Rule, man. That's just.
He'd just probably be more interested in getting it over and done with than having a fag.
Yeah.
That's true, yeah.
He'd be like, you'd fuck, and then you'd just have a fag, and then it'd be like,
Yeah, like an old James Bond film.
Yeah,
basically. I feel like that'd be nice. I think it'd be very 70s, just sitting in bed together, having a cig.
And then you go do your shopping.
Destroyed arsehole.
Oh, but are you doing the fucking, Sam?
There's nothing about pegging in this question.
All right.
You can't exclude pegging, though. We are a modern society.
Yeah. Happy International Women's Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems to come around about 10 times a year, that does.
Yeah, it does done out.
It does.
Yeah.
It could be today. It could be today. Yeah.
Probably is. I think I'm gonna marry Jordan. Shag Ronnie and kill Marcus Rule.
Why
would I do that?
Why would you? Yeah.
Wait, Marcus, why?
Why Marcus?
I just think out of everyone, I could have a long conversation with Jordan at night, in bed, in the sheets, discussing all things biomechanics.
Yeah. All dirty to me, baby.
With Ronnie, I'm just thinking, big, massive brown glutes. Then, Then I'm thinking, what else? What does Marcus have to give to the table?
Shopping.
Shopping. He's good at shopping.
Do my own shopping.
He's got a good most muscular.
Side most muscular. Yeah.
Yes.
Music taste.
True. Yeah. All right. I'm killing Ronnie.
European.
Ronnie is going to be the easiest person to kill. Actually,
that's true. That is true.
So
yeah, he couldn't run off. He only says 3 words these days.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, buddy.
Wait.
Ain't no buddy peanut.
Hey, no word, Jack. Ain't nothing but a penis.
A penis.
Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah, no. It's tragic. I do think actually as much as it pains me to say it, objectively it makes sense to kill Ronnie.
It does.
The only correct answer.
It is survival of the fittest. Actually, I went with money. To be fair.
Yeah.
JP's got the money in the chat, so you've got to marry him. It makes sense.
I think you've got to marry JP.
Yeah.
And then abstain from
to take down.
In the marriage. And then I guess fuck Marcus rule.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're all on this.
Everyone's shagging Marcus. Must have some serious sex appeal.
Yeah.
He's a German.
Do you know what? I didn't think I was going to be shagging Marcus at the start of this conversation, but now I'm
Savness.
Yeah.
Savnu.
Right in there. Yeah, Marcus. Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
she slowly convinced us all to shag Marcus.
We've come to an accord.
I'm glad we've all agreed that I'm always right.
Great. Okay. Another question. If you could have any superhero superpower, what would it be and why?
Do you know what?
Any superpower or just be a superhero? Have to do their duties.
No, you don't have to do their duties. You just have all their powers.
Yeah, you don't have to be a good person and shit like that. Fuck that.
I wouldn't want to be too powerful.
Yeah, it'd be boring then. You wouldn't have to do it then.
Like Superman's power would be like you wouldn't be able to shag.
No.
You wouldn't, without killing.
That's true.
Well, you're into that anyway, aren't you?
I mean, that is your land.
That's
I'm gonna kill you and I mean
it. I'll probably be Wolverine, man. Because
I was going to say that.
Just think about this, right? I've actually got a good reason for this. His recovery ability, banging. So he could literally go in, train for like a fucking entire week straight, and be like massive because he could recover.
And he wouldn't have any health issues.
No health issues.
No joint problems because he's made of adamantium and nothing.
And he can do it natty as well. He's recovering like
just like Hugh Jackman.
Nice. Yeah, good one. Good one.
Yeah, so
probably the Hulk.
Difficult.
You're temporarily normal person and you get pissed off, so you only bring out the monster when you need it.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I suppose that would be good for legs, you know. You're about to do your top set and shit, and you're like, oh, you end up doing like fucking 1,000 plates aside on the side.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
What about you, Sav?
Well, it said superpower, not superhuman, and I feel like the only good one is transportation. You could just like, do you know what? I've had a rough week at work. I want tequila. I'm in Cancun.
That is genius. That is a great choice.
No paying for flights. Just pay your, tenner for a nice margarita. Go home early night.
Oh God, that's
very mature of you, so.
I'm that person.
Has anyone here watched Invincible?
No, I've read the comics, so.
I have. Great.
Maybe one of the people from that.
Jermaine, I can see you as a solid kick-ass.
Okay, yeah, that's not a superpower though. He just got clocked in the face with a crowbar or whatever.
Sheffield, eh?
Sheffield. Maybe just Invincible's power. I mean, it's basically
everything.
It's basically Superman, but he just escalates the more shit he goes through. So it's similar in terms of bodybuilding. Like the more you do, the stronger you get indefinitely. Like there's no ceiling. So you can just keep going up, and you can fly, and you can destroy planets.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite supervillain? That's the question.
Ooh, Doom.
Dr. Doom.
I actually know I'd have Doom's powers. Absolutely. Doom.
I like Thanos though.
Yeah.
If you had the fucking gauntlet, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can teleport. You can turn back time. You can fucking, you know.
I feel like DC has better villains than Marvel. I'm saying it. I feel like in Marvel they're all a little bit family friendly, and DC they're actually dark.
Doom is literally just Hitler, though. So
that's like Red Skull, though. Yeah,
exactly like
that. Rydell.
He's like a based Hitler. Yeah,
I'd be Doom, man.
Jermaine wants to be.
I'd be Doom, man. He's just like Hitler.
He's got his own country. His superpower comes with its own country. Everyone there loves him.
Yeah,
like everyone respects him, but also no one fucks with him either. They're like, do you know what? You do your thing. We're not going to bother you because we know that we don't want a war with you. So you know, crack on. And he's got a cool outfit.
That makes sense. So,
everybody see the new Batman?
Absolutely, twice.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's different, isn't he? He's a bit of a weirdo.
He looks like a My Chemical Romance fan.
I think it makes perfect sense, though. No, like
I quite like emo Batman, and I like him a lot more than I thought. Although Christian Bale will always be the best Batman, because I think Batman's got to just have that like upper class, smooth stuff, like the character that he plays in American Psycho. I feel like he needs to have a little bit of that. But I like that instead of trying to recreate something that had already been done, they went for emo Batman. I quite like emo Batman.
Yeah.
I do think it's more realistic though, because Batman's supposed to be traumatized, isn't he? And he looks fucking traumatized. Traumatized man.
And he absolutely kills people. No one could convince me that Batman doesn't kill people either.
Yeah, it definitely does, man.
It does, man. It doesn't make sense for him not to.
There's actually a bit in the end of the Batman film where he basically pulls the trigger for someone and shoots someone.
Yeah.
And then they're just hanging.
I like the little shot of Tren that he takes towards the end.
Yeah. Right at the end, he has a shot of Halo testing. It just goes crazy. It starts fucking
It's great. No, I enjoyed the film.
Yeah, it's great. I enjoyed it. Love it.
Yeah.
I hope they do something with it now that's not shit.
Yeah.
DC have just fucked up their side of the things with films.
Yeah.
They're rebooting everything, aren't they?
Yeah.
Can we also pretend that Ben Affleck never happened? Can we do that now?
Yeah.
Wait, right. It's not a bad portrayal of Batman. He's a terrible Bruce Wayne, and the suit is shit.
Yeah.
But he that's what Batman should look like. He's jacked. He's got the Giga Chad jaw. Happy days.
Yeah. I'm tell you what, I'm excited but very nervous for Black Adam.
Yeah.
I hope it's not full of corny, shitty rock jokes.
It's The Rock. So if The Rock is playing The Rock, I'm going to be.
Looks a bit cheesed, doesn't he?
Because Black Adam's actually a cool character, and if they watch it, I'll be out.
Yeah. Did you see The Rock's back double bicep?
Yeah.
A while ago. Yeah. Very NPC.
Yeah, he's a unit. He's a large man. And everyone's still convinced he's not taking gear, I think. So,
how is he? He's about like nearly 50, man, and he's still moving.
That is.
I found out Tom Cruise is 60 this year.
And he looks exactly the same.
Tom Cruise on Tom Cruise dosage, I think.
When I watched the new Top Gun trailer, I was like,
4 years ago when it first got advertised?
Yeah, I was like, this guy hasn't changed. He really hasn't. He's exactly the same.
Age, man.
Yeah, timeless. Same with what's the guy who plays Ant-Man called?
Paul
Rudd. Yeah, he hasn't aged either.
No.
Looks exactly the same. Makes no sense. I want to age like that. That'd be sick.
You might do.
I might do.
The question is, you know, when you're like 50, if your hair hasn't gone, will you continue to have braids or dreads? Will you keep growing them?
I'm not a fan of the whole dreads down to my butt crack.
Full blown Rastafarian.
No, not my vibe, to be honest.
You never see it on stage.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I mean, it's probably because they don't eat meat, but you know.
It had your back detailed. You'd have to put them into like a bun anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, Kai Green always had to flick his hair around out of the way, didn't he?
That stopped being real after about 2013.
Yeah, it's a weird.
It looked sick for some of his guest pose in there.
Yeah.
Had like a little accessory.
Shagging the floor and all that.
Leaf with it.
Yeah.
The Predator.
Yeah. Right, I'm out of questions, so.
Yeah, I think I'm done. Any others? No.
I'm out.
We're out. We're all out. We've blown the load.
Left.
That was fun.
That was fun, folks. We're back. We're back in business.
Yes.
Okay, should we call it there?
Yeah.
Ready.
How often are we podcasting?
Weekly? Question.
1 week, hopefully.
Jack wants out already.
How often do I have to do this and put up with you?
Well, he's a dragon murderer.
He's got other stuff to do. Fight dragons and
Not fight dragons and throw up. I've just actually saved all my wellness for the day for this podcast, and after this, I'm just going to drop down and pass out.
Need dragon blood. I love how every time we do a podcast, Sam's going to have a new piece of household equipment as well.
Yeah.
Shall I show you something that I've bought every time? That'll be fun.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Check out this microwave, guys.
Oof, it's got a timer on it.
Look how quick it can do cool.
Right.
Yeah. Has anyone ever used a microwave to defrost anything?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just me then.
I'm
quite scared to do it.
I defrost my beef sometimes in the microwave.
Yeah.
I'd rather not have to. I'd rather leave it out on the side. But sometimes, you don't have that foresight.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you're in a bit of a rush.
Cool. Right. Share, subscribe, like, and we'll see you next week.
Comment below.
If you want. Comment below what dragon you would kill.
Out of what? How many dragons? What is the?
All the dragons.
Take it once with your bare hands.
With your bare hands. All right. Catch you later, folks.
See you later, guys.
Bye.